In the words of Jeff Bezos, CEO of Amazon, staying in day one requires you to experiment patiently, accept failures, plant seeds, protect saplings, and double down when you see customer delight. This level of systematic exploration and data generation can only be achieved through hypothesis generation, the driving force behind strategic decision-making in forward-thinking corporations. The power of hypothesis generation. Business leaders today operate in an increasingly complex landscape wherein they need to make quick, cogent, and informed decisions. In such a scenario, hypothesis generation emerges as a crucial tool. It allows executives to archetypalize real-world assumptions, dissect them, and analyze their outcomes. As opposed to a trial-and-error approach, firms that cultivate a culture of hypothesis-driven thinking increase their chances of making correct decisions. Companies such as Google, Microsoft, and Amazon are examples of how well hypothesized strategies lead to significant improvements in business models and market opportunities. Understanding the dynamics of hypothesis generation. Hypothesis generation involves a predetermined set of assumptions. Google's famed work rule is a stellar example of a well-effective, hypothesis-driven strategic elevation. They assumed talented employees value freedom over micromanagement, hypothesized that more freedom would lead to better productivity, and launched Google's 20% innovation time off. The result was a significant bolstering of creativity and productivity. Essentially, a hypothesis is an informed assumption about observed phenomena. It is concise, actionable, and testable. In the realm of strategic management, hypothesis generation is the process of transforming broad questions into these actionable and testable assumptions that could guide specific lines of inquiry and decision-making. Best practices in hypothesis generation. 1. Front-load the process. Hypotheses should be developed early on in the strategic decision-making framework. 1. Early hypothesis generation allows time for the testing, alteration, or rejection of hypotheses, promoting informed decision-making. 2. Instigate a culture of curiosity. Nurturing a corporate culture where all assumptions are questioned facilitates an environment of constant learning and improvement. This, in turn, leads to the creation of robust and effective hypotheses. 3. Evidence-driven approach. Actionable hypotheses need to be supported by relevant evidence. 3. Successful companies recognize the need for a data-driven culture and make sure that their hypotheses are firmly rooted in data and analytics. Bridging hypothesis generation with strategic management. Hypothesis generation seamlessly dovetails with strategic management as it allows stakeholders to leverage information for informed, data-driven decisions. Over the years, hypothesis-driven thinking has achieved mainstream acceptance and has become a key component of corporate governance, project management, operational excellence, and, most notably, strategic management. A well-crafted strategic management hypothesis connects the intent with impact, offering actionable insights for competitive strategy, corporate strategy, and business-level strategy. It provides foundational support in areas such as customer-centric marketing, mergers and acquisitions, new market exploration, cost reduction, and organizational restructuring. The future of hypothesis generation. In the realm of strategic decision-making, hypothesis generation is no longer a nice-to-have but a must-have. Enterprises across the globe are incorporating hypothesis-driven thinking into their corporate DNA. With the explosion of data and the rise of sophisticated analytical tools, the importance and prevalence of hypothesis-based strategies are only set to grow. A paradigm shift towards a more hypothesis-centered, iterative approach to strategic decision-making, especially in the context of digital transformation, is a must for any enterprise seeking leadership in their respective fields. As the global corporate landscape becomes ever more competitive and tumultuous, leaders must learn to harness the full potential of hypothesis generation to steer their organizations towards success. Want to learn more about hypothesis generation? We have included links to hypothesis generation resources in the description. Also, download presentations, templates, and other best practice tools on hypothesis generation from Flevy.com.